What up? Hello, my friends. Hope you are well. And in this video, I will not be doing a lot of editing. And I want to talk about how the US economy turning into a third world economy essentially is going to impact you as a caregiver, nurse, and the overall healthcare field. This includes the home care business as well. Like I said, I won't be doing too much editing because there's a whole lot going on right now. I just don't have enough time. I got too much going on, and there's too much happening in the economy, some of which I already predicted months ago. If you look at some of my older videos, I predicted what's happening right now, you know, almost accurately. I said, beginning of this year, I said that the United States economy is not what it was in 2024. It's not the 2024 economy or 2023 economy. But unfortunately, a lot of you guys are still operating as if this was 2023, 2020, 2024 even. I don't know how many times I can say this. The game has already changed. Do you know when the game changed? The game changed on January 2020, on January 20th of this year, of 2025. As soon as that new leader got elected into the White House, oh my goodness, they already had the game plan. You know what I'm saying? Like they had 100-day execution plan, a shock and awe. This is why you saw Elon, doing all these audits for all these government like departments and everything, and revealing how much money was being wasted in the federal government because they already planned all this stuff. Now we're seeing the consequences of all of that they executed in the first 3 months of this 2025, this year. We're starting to see that gridlock in Washington. The government shutdown is the longest shutdown in the United States history, I believe. In modern history, let's put it that way. Because I don't know if they had a shutdown in 1780, right? 1780, because the independence was 1776. I don't know. Maybe they had a shutdown in the 1770s or 1800s. I don't know. But I do know for sure in the 21st century, this is the longest government shutdown ever. Over 30 days? You guys don't know. You don't know. A lot of what was happening in the economy has been a trickle down of money that was coming from the federal government. So it created a whole other economy beneath it that was fed by all this money that was coming from the federal government. That was why it was so easy for a lot of people to get government contracts, government jobs. They made it so easy. And even the last administration warned us about this. You guys recall on the campaign trail, a lot of the Democrats were warning us that, hey, if this new government takes over, it's going to be hell on earth. They were kidding. They were not kidding, guys. We started to see, because of this government shutdown, the longest ever, you know, the airports don't work anymore because the airports depend on, partly because the government has to pay the TSA, and flight controllers have to get paid. But those are not getting paid no more because the federal government shut down. That was by design. This was designed years ago to create chaos in the system. Now people are crying victims out here. It's kind of too late. I got bad news for you. It's kind of too late. I think some of you who came from third world countries, you forgot why you left those third world countries to come to the United States. You've seen what happens when chaos ensues in a country. Some of you have seen it. Some of you from Nigeria, Sierra Leone, some of these economies that overnight, things can just go from 0 to 100 real quick. in the negative direction. 0 to 100 real quick. Some of you are from those places. I was born in a country called Zimbabwe. If you guys go look it up. Things went from like 100 to 0 real quick. In a matter of like months and weeks. Because of mismanagement. And this is what's coming and what's already happening in the United States. The biggest problem that I've seen also with a lot of people that are in America right now, they're in complete denial. Complete denial. For the last 5 years, people had time to prepare because we were even warned by the late, great Kevin Samuels. That 5 years ago, he said winter is coming, and winter is here. People's cars are getting repoed, houses foreclosure, evictions are high, joblessness. There are no jobs out there. But it doesn't mean there's no money. There is money out there. It's just that your mindset needs to change completely. You're now dealing with a third world economy with third world conditions. So if you're from Nigeria, how do you do business? How do you conduct business? How would you conduct business if you were in Nigeria in that economy? That's the mindset you need to bring to the United States now. The game has changed. If you're still relying on a job, you've already lost the game. The opportunity is not with the job anymore. The opportunity is with solving real problems and being one of the few in your community that can solve that problem. And you can win out here. Because your community or your neighborhood is about to plunge into complete chaos. Are you the one that can help solve the problems? It could be you're the one that knows how to get insulin for good price, and you're a nurse, you're a doctor, and you know how to help, patients that have diabetes in your neighborhood, and you know how to set up an operation that is efficient, that distributes insulin for a good price. Name it. There's so many angles. I was on LinkedIn the other day and I saw this guy was promoting AI, this new AI company of his that allows for medical professionals to start, and I mentioned this I predicted this, in a previous video that I did. But this technology of his, this company of his, it uses somehow AI and also has a medical professional to verify what AI is saying, which is amazing. This technology here is amazing because the government realized that so many people are flocking to AI because, getting a doctor, getting in front of a doctor is getting expensive now. It's very expensive. And it's not convenient at all. Maybe you might have to take off work to go see a doctor and then you're losing money. That's not productive at all. So the solution, I guess, is to have people go to ChatGPT, type in whatever condition that they have, and then ChatGPT is going to recommend a bunch of options. And then those options, I guess this company will allow you to click on that recommended link, because ChatGPT will recommend a bunch of links, right? It's like better than Google now. Then maybe once you click on it, you are directed to a physician, a real board-certified physician, board-certified doctor, board-certified medical assistant or nurse or caregiver. That's what the technology does with the power of AI. But it still has a real human, a real doctor on the back end. By law, they have to do that. because the government realized that the whole system could get out of control if they don't regulate it. And that's their way to regulate it. So this new company just figured out a way to profit as a middle person, as a middleman. The game has changed, guys. You have to be creative now in how you are, you're going about making this money. Just because there are no jobs does not mean there's no money out there. There's plenty of money out there. There is. Because as long as people got to feed the stomach right here, we're all slave to the stomach. Everybody's got to feed it. However they do it. Selling their soul, whatever. I'm not into, recommending you sell your soul to the devil or anything. I'm just saying there are people that get desperate to that point. Have you ever seen somebody who needs drugs real bad? A drug addict, a crackhead. A crackhead can raise $200-300 a day to feed their addiction. You're going to start to see people that will raise that kind of money to feed the stomach. But they're not addicts. They just got to feed the stomach. You've seen it. If you're from a third world economy, you've seen it already. This is now the economy of winners and losers. There will be new winners in this new economy, and the new winners are going to be people that hustle outside the box. Creative thinkers, critical thinkers. Why are you wasting a whole half a year, 6 months, a year looking for a job when you know there are no jobs out there? When you can be thinking about how to solve one problem. One problem. Let me give you an example of some of the things that I've seen here in Africa. And I love being in Africa because people here are so creative in how they hustle. Because there's no social safety net. The government does not have money to take care of all these people. I'm in a country with 68 million people, and the government is not going to feed everybody. You know what I'm saying? They'll feed the politicians. Those are the ones that they eat. And that's what the American economy has become. It's become like Russia. Remember how we used to laugh at how Russia has Putin and it has a bunch of oligarchs? That's what the United States is. Those oligarchs are like owners of Google, Meta, Tesla, Microsoft. Those are the new oligarchs now. And the rest is just poverty. Straight poverty. And a few winners that are closer to the oligarchs. Okay, so if you know how to navigate, like the oligarchs do, then you eat. You always be eating, feeding the people at the bottom. That's what the economy has become right now. So let me tell you what's happening that I've seen here in this economy. There are people here that are so poor, and desperate and poor, but they can still eat. How they hustle, let me tell you how they hustle, even though they're, at the bottom. How they survive. Even some of them, even though they're in quote-unquote poverty, they're still eating good, though. They're still eating good because the food here is cheap and it's good. I've seen mothers, single mothers here, that will go door to door knocking to see if they can do a little bit of laundry for you because they know people here don't have laundry machines. And I know this doesn't apply in the West because you guys got everything. What I'm saying is here, they go door to door asking if they can do your laundry. Door to door asking if they can braid hair. So what would cost me to send my kids to the hairdressers? The hairdressers might charge me, let's say, $20, $15, because ladies' hair is expensive. Everywhere you are, even here in Africa, it's expensive. So let's say I'm paying $20 to get my kid's hair braided, whatever, and my wife. Let's say that's $60, let's say. There are ladies that will go door to door here offering the same quality of work for half the price. So I'm saving $30. I'm only paying $30. And the quality is next level. The quality is so good. And the reason why they can afford to charge half of what the other establishments are charging is simply because they don't have to go anywhere. They're literally coming to your home. They're your neighbor. They're coming to your home, delivering the service, and they walk back home. No money spent. In fact, the only money spent is walking. And they're eating, cooking at home, chilling at home, waiting for those phone calls to come back in. Because once the people that me and my family hang out with see how great their hairstyle is, they're gonna ask, "Hey, where did you get your hair done? Where did you get your hair done?" I'll be like, I got the plug. I got just the right person. Then I call up the lady that does it for half, because I know her work is good, and I'll hook her up with more work, with my family's friends, my wife's friends. Everybody eats, and the money remains locally. This is where everything is shifting to now. We have no choice. We have no choice but to rely on each other. The economies, the microeconomies, not the macro. Remember what I said in previous videos, and I'll repeat this again. United States has become a collection of tribes that tolerate each other. So there's a Jewish tribe, there's a Nigerian tribe, Mexican tribe, Venezuelan tribe, and they all trade, cross-tribal, amongst each other, right? So within the Jewish community, the Jewish tribe, they're all trading within each other, right? And then they have to find experts outside of that tribe to serve them, to fulfill other roles that need to be fulfilled. Let's say, for example, the Jewish community of Houston. The Jewish community of Houston might hire a bunch of Nigerian caregivers to come take care of the elderly people in their tribe. This is America now. This is what it is. So those communities that are thriving, that will thrive, because they have a way that they work as a group, as a collection. Those are the tribes that you need to be serving. Figure out how to serve these tribes. The way I see it, and I was watching a clip on Instagram about the Nigerian tribe community, rather, in the Houston area. Despite the economy, these guys are going to be just fine. They're going to be just fine. I heard they got their own bank over there now. I'm like, hey, Chale. No, Chale is that's the Ghanaian one. What's the Nigerian equivalency of Chale? I don't know. Maybe I'm too old school. You guys know what I'm talking about. My Ghanaian people. I heard they got their own bank over there in Houston. These guys are going to be just fine. Do you know why? Because I bet you that Nigerian bank in Houston, it's got a bunch of investors over there in Lagos, a bunch of millionaires and billionaires in Lagos. They want to tap into the U.S. market. Why not start their own bank right in the middle of the Nigerian community over there in Houston? They're going to be just fine, those guys. And there are a bunch of restaurants now that cater to the community, owned by the community. It employs, their own people from their own tribe. It's amazing. It's magical. This is what the U.S. economy is going to have to become. It's going to have to become like that. Because with the government shutdown, it's going to cause a lot of chaos in the market, a lot of breakdown is coming. A lot of resetting is coming. Here's what I mean by a lot of resetting. You're going to start to notice a lot of these big major grocery store chains that are national are going to start to collapse. Because food prices are out of control. It's only a matter of time until, some of these Nigerian communities or the Ghanaian communities figure out a way to sell some of those products and goods in, let's say, Publix or Kroger for cheap. Publix and Kroger, if you guys don't know, on the West Coast, it's kind of like Vaughn's, Ralph's. Or in New York area, it's kind of like Pathmark is old. It's kind of like, what is it like? Food Town. Yes, Food Town. It's like Food Town if you're from the hood, like that. Or Sea Town. Damn. Pathmark, yeah. Yeah. Good times, New York. You guys remember Pathmark? Man, those were the days, huh? You could go to Pathmark back in the day with like $20. You were good. You had groceries. You could eat all week. I remember. But now that's not the case anymore. But they're going to be communities that will figure out how to sell meat for cheap, how to sell the basics for cheap. Because when the economy collapses, which it is coming, these grocery stores are going to have no customers. Because why should I go over there when I can go to this smaller mom and pop spot that has figured out how to sell me the basic essentials for a cheaper price? Because they don't have as much of an overhead as Walmart. And then before you know it, Walmart is shutting down. They're saying, we don't have enough customers, so we're going to shut down operations. Guess who's going to take over? There's the local tribes that run the show. Whatever neighborhood they're at. Brooklyn, let's say, if the major grocery store chains in Brooklyn shut down, I know the Jewish community is going to take over. Or the Yemenis are going to take over. The bodegas. The bodegas are going to get money. The bodegas are going to take over the game. They're already done take over the game in New York. The Yemenis. Love it. What I'm saying is this. You need to start thinking at that level. How would I operate if I was in Nigeria, Ghana, Jamaica? How would I finesse this game? Because the game is now for the taking. The game is not for the taking. But it requires you to think outside the box. I've spoken to a lot of you that are so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you want to just go do it on your own. But I don't think you're in enough pain yet. You're not in enough pain. Wait till Christmas comes. Wait till Thanksgiving. It's November 10th. Thanksgiving is around the corner. Wait till Thanksgiving comes. You're not in enough pain. You don't want it badly enough. You just don't. You don't. Because if you wanted it badly enough, you would do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Except selling your soul. Don't sell your soul. You will regret it, I promise you. But do whatever it takes that is legal to get to this money. If you need to know how to finesse this new economy that is here for the taking as things start to break down, and build your home care business to make sure it's profitable, you're exploiting all angles. AI is here. It's creating new opportunities. Schedule time. I'll put a link in the description of this video. Schedule time. Let's talk about how to level up in this new economy. Or you can stay in the pain that you're in. Doesn't really matter to me. Let me go take a nap. Bless.